He walked into a luxury restaurant, judged by his clothes. What they didn't know would leave them speechless. One of Manhattan's most exclusive dining establishments. The soft clinking of crystal glasses and hushed conversations filled the air, blending seamlessly with the glow of candlelight reflecting off polished silverware. Servers moved like shadows, their precision a performance in itself, while the aroma of gourmet dishes wafted from the open kitchen. For the patrons of this sanctuary of indulgence, dining wasn't just about exquisite food, but about status. A performance where appearance and privilege spoke louder than words. Into this space walked Marcus, a tall, well-built black man in his early 40s, his attire simple yet impeccable. He wore a navy sweater, neatly pressed jeans, and polished leather shoes, a stark contrast to the designer suits and haute couture gowns surrounding him. As Marcus crossed the room with quiet confidence, a ripple of curiosity followed. Glances darted in his direction, some lingering a little too long, others accompanied by whispers. He seemed out of place, judged for his understated appearance in a room of ostentatious wealth. Yet Marcus remained composed, exuding an air of calm authority. At the host's stand, he spoke with measured politeness. Reservation for Marcus. The host, a young man whose professional smile faltered momentarily, cast a quick glance over Marcus's outfit before recovering. Of course, sir. Right this way. His tone was courteous, but tinged with a subtle edge of curiosity. Marcus followed him to a corner table by the floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city's dazzling skyline. The opulence of the restaurant didn't escape Marcus's notice, but he seemed unaffected by the unspoken hierarchy in the air. Unfolding the menu, he felt the weight of judgment from nearby tables, their whispers almost tangible. His server, Bryce, soon approached. Impeccably dressed and polished in manner, Bryce's smile didn't quite reach his eyes. "Good evening, sir," Bryce began, his tone of practiced politeness hiding an edge. "Still, sparkling or tap water?" Marcus met his gaze calmly. "Still water, please." Bryce nodded, scribbling on his notepad, his expression betraying a flicker of condescension. As Bryce walked away, Marcus noticed a nearby couple whispering while casting glances his way. Offering them a polite smile, Marcus remained unfazed as they quickly averted their eyes. When Bryce returned with the water, his movements were precise but distant. "Have you decided on your order?" he asked, his tone neutral, but his body language betraying subtle disdain. Marcus glanced at the menu before replying. "I'll start with the black truffle risotto, followed by the Wagyu tenderloin." His words were deliberate, without a glance at the prices, something Bryce seemed to expect. Bryce blinked, surprised by the choice, then forced a smile. "Excellent choice, sir," he said, though his voice carried a faintly dismissive undertone. As the evening progressed, the tension at Marcus's table became palpable. Bryce's veneer of professionalism grew thinner, and his gestures carried a barely veiled condescension. At a nearby table, a woman leaned toward her companion. "He doesn't look like he belongs here," she whispered, her words accompanied by a smirk. Her companion chuckled softly in agreement. Bryce mirrored the sentiment in his mannerisms, his movements growing more exaggerated as he served Marcus. When delivering the main course, he leaned in slightly. "Your Wagyu tenderloin, sir. I trust you'll find it worth the price," he said, his gaze flickering to Marcus's simple sweater. Marcus met his gaze, his expression calm. "Thank you," he replied, cutting into the steak with deliberate precision. Despite Bryce's attitude, Marcus ate with composure. Around him, diners whispered behind their hands, their glances barely concealed. Bryce, emboldened, returned with the dessert menu, placing it on the table with an audible thud. "Might I recommend the sorbet? It's light," he said, his tone suggesting an assumption about Marcus's preferences. Marcus raised an eyebrow, his voice calm yet firm. "I'll have the Grand Marnier soufflé," he said, handing back the menu. Bryce stiffened, retreating with visible frustration. At the service station, he whispered to a colleague, both sneaking glances at Marcus and sharing quiet laughter. Moments later, the soufflé arrived, and Marcus took his time savoring it, undeterred by the judgment surrounding him. Then the atmosphere shifted dramatically. A middle-aged man in a tailored suit approached Marcus's table, his presence commanding attention. "Marcus, I didn't know you were in town," he said warmly, extending his hand. The man's voice carried enough authority to silence the room. "Edward," Marcus replied, standing to shake his hand. Their exchange was easy and familiar, their voices carrying weight. Bryce, polishing glasses nearby, froze mid-motion. His confidence faltered as he listened. "This place has been thriving under your leadership," Edward remarked, gesturing around the restaurant. "Your team speaks highly of your vision." Marcus inclined his head modestly. "It's a group effort," he replied. Around the room, forks paused mid-air and conversations hushed. The realization spread like wildfire. Marcus wasn't just a diner, he was the owner of Celestia. Bryce's expression shifted from smug confidence to visible panic. Approaching hesitantly, he stammered, "Is there anything else I can get for you, sir?" Marcus looked at him, calm but firm. "No, thank you. Everything has been illuminating." Edward excused himself, leaving Marcus to settle the bill. The manager appeared, offering to comp the meal. Marcus declined with a small smile. "I believe in paying for what I enjoy," he said, leaving a generous tip. Bryce returned, visibly nervous. "Sir, I want to apologize. If I was disrespectful in any way..." Marcus held his gaze, his voice measured. "It's not just about what you said, Bryce. It's about how you saw me before knowing me." Bryce nodded, his face flushed with embarrassment. As Marcus stepped into the cool night air, he paused to glance back at Celestia's glowing facade. The evening had been a quiet reminder of the power of respect, a lesson etched into the atmosphere for those willing to reflect. Judgment based on appearance dissolves in the face of dignity and grace. Marcus's quiet strength left an indelible mark, proving that humility and respect are far more valuable than assumption. Inside, the whispers of judgment had faded, replaced by an enduring lesson. True respect is earned through kindness and the recognition of our shared humanity. Take care. See you in the next video.